This is Jason McCann of Mountain Tactical Company. A couple weeks ago, we put a bottom metal troubleshooting video out. We had a customer send us a video. He was having some issues with his bottom metal, and we were able to emulate the problems he was having and put a video out showing what the fixes were, because he said his mag was falling out of his rifle. And so let's just re-roll the video of the problem he was having so we're all on the same page if you haven't watched that video. So we try to help every single customer because we want you to have a great experience with your Tikka. And this particular customer was pretty belligerent. He had purchased a bottom metal, one of our bottom metal from Midway, had that issue, returned it, bought a bottom metal directly from us, had that exact same issue. He sent it back to us, we inspected it, it was perfectly in spec, we sent it back to him, he sent us that video, we made the video showing how to fix it. And it's interesting because he's a claimed Remington 700 expert gunsmith. His friend is a Tikka expert because he has 2 Tikkas, started a good collection. And that he says that he already put the rifle together correctly. And so when we put our video out, kind of emulating his problem, what the solution was, he was actually quite insulted, and that was not our goal. Our goal was to be helpful here. But what he wanted to do was he wanted to send his bottom metal back to us, and so we just got it. And he wanted us to shoot a video putting his bottom metal into a rough tech, and so we could see firsthand the problem he's having, and put it together and see what the solution is on his specific bottom metal. So here we go. We have the exact same rifle. It's a rough tech. His rifle's a rough tech. It's an ember, but that's just the color. I'm going to go ahead and remove the bolts so we know everything's safe and clear. We've got our chamber flag in there. We're going to remove the bottom metal that we worked with previously, and we're going to put his bottom metal in this rifle. Packaging aside, I don't want to accidentally flash his information out there. So just doing a quick visual inspection. There's a couple nicks on it, definitely from not a careful install, but it's definitely been installed. So let's just get this rifle upright. I'm going to take it out just so we can reseat it on that recoil lug, just like we did in the last video. So we know we're putting everything together correctly. There we go. We're on that recoil lug. Put his bottom metal in. Make sure everything is squished together correctly. Make sure our, an extra set of hands here. Make sure our torque driver is set to 45 inch-pounds. Not tightening that all the way yet. Put his rear ting screw in. That little snug. Great. Downward pressure against that recoil lug. All right, let's see what we have here. Got our 6.5 PRC magazine, because that's what he's shooting. And that locked in perfect. There's no sponginess. We have really positive engagement in the rear of the mag, so we're not seeing that lift that he was seeing. It ejects well. I mean, that just pops right out. That's not going anywhere. So, oh yeah, that magazine's not falling out. So when he sent us that video and we were trying to emulate what his problem was, there was a telltale sign in that video that showed us that the rifle was put together incorrectly. And so let's kind of get that up on the screen here so you can see what we're talking about. So you can see that on his rifle, the action's sitting too far forward in the stock. And that was the problem. So that's the problem that he's having here. So I've been a Tikka only bolt action guy for 22 years. I've been working on Tikkas professionally for 14 years. I'm just kind of Tikkas are just what we do and what our entire team does here. And 80% of what I've learned has been learned from you guys. You know, whether it's our parts or the factory Tikka rifles, we've solved problems together. And we've figured out how to improve things. And we've done it together. And I've learned more from you guys than I knew going into this. And so that's been the fun part of this journey. And Tikkas, they're not Remingtons. They're not Winchesters. They're not Savages. They're their own beast. They have their own operating system. And so it takes a little while to learn it. But once you learn it, it's a pretty simple rifle system. So I also understand this is a business of big egos. And we even have a saying in this industry that it's always the arrow, it's never the Indian. And unfortunately, that ego typically gets in the way of proper problem solving on these things. So you can see here, this works perfect. Nothing's happening here. The one thing I can promise you is that everyone here wants your Tikka to be awesome so that you have a whole lot of fun getting some trigger time.